Day 30, October 2024, at 23 hours, 11 minutes, City, Rio de Janeiro, the garbage of the planet, another one. And then we will have our conversation quite simple, quite clear. We are assuming that the talk is conclusive, the case must be closed. We will have, first of all, one guideline using the Brazilian Constitution, observing that the Brazil is the major aggressor in Brazil as institutional system formed by the democratic institution, which implies the Congress in all levels as representatives, the judicial power in all levels as judges or Supreme Court ministries, and also the executive governments in all levels as mayor, governor, or the president. And then we have also the military forces. They all do records about the Brazil. It's a data on economy named conjunctural data. To you make a decision, you must have this. If I have to do an investment, considering the 41 trillions, I will request this kind of thing, or any citizen must request information. And the guarantee 33 in Brazilian Constitution, which covers and protects foreigners and nationals in Brazil as person, any person, including individual, governments, family circles, groups, states, and international business. We are talking English because we are talking with the international power representing the international interests at this local domestic system named Brazil. Everybody, everyone has the right to receive from public department information of your own interest or the group or general information as diffuse. When you use the fake records by payments at the police department to change the perception, facts, or circumstance about the murder of a political element, indeed, you took the integrity of the data. This guarantee is probed that the Brazil hurt, and indeed it's not a threat, but an aggressor against mankind. Because the modification of data to cover the crimes indeed already happened, just the crimes that they are protecting. And if it's a right of we all, not threatening we all anymore, but hurt we all. It's confirmed when they will try to call the excuse on 142 as constitutional rule, which is about the security. 144, the public security is a duty of the state, right and responsibility of all, except in exclusive things that not we all can do, like the public records. We are excused of any kind of tie as victims with the public data made by the Brazil public departments. Right, I'm an individual single creditor. Anything else you can do? We'll have the conversation a bit more to understand simple things. I will have this model here, kind of we observe that the criminal system go by fractal behavior, do the same thing in many areas with a range of distribution but the same patterns and frequency. You can observe that you get one, you can get all. We have different universe, can be your computer, your mobile, or inside your architecture of communication as internet and mobile, telecom. You have your computer, your mobile, that can be logged, be as mobile at the telecom or at the provider as internet. In all circumstances, you will have the universal diagram repeated, but also having the repetition of instruments and elements indeed embedded inside the instrument or argument you use as your own property. It's a violation of property. guarantee 22. If come since the production as the productive line, you can call this something okay, because indeed it's not. It's allowing the fake records and the parallel movements of everything, including the communication and resources. By this, we are having that the no reliability has ways and expression at the institutional system. The trend analysis, the cognitive bias, have been used to procrastinate decision about conclusive things, such obvious, but without the proper conclusion or decision properly made. The second, we observe that the coalition and formations on present time, named the third ways, observed very strong central banks indeed are trying to preserve everything made at the past and continue the crimes to the future. This is the issues we have for today. Closing the month 31 and having November. Cognitive bias, concrete damage, it's the words we have proved by the Constitution. Cognitive damage, Brazil and peers organized through the institutional system as criminal system by specific human resources with interaction illegal indeed shouldn't be noticed as a threat against mankind, but as an aggressor, because the fake record told by the Guarantee 33 Article 5 is an aggression against we all, and when you claim that we all are equals at this responsibility as security, we reply, indeed I am replying, that we can be equals in something that belong to your own specific hands, right? From the architecture until all human resources distributed as domain of institutional corruption, staffs, and outsourced, organized crime represented inside the institutional system and once in a while taking the place, an ex-prostitute that became a police officer will keep the ties with the criminal groups that these women or men is kind of accustomed to serve or be exploited, and then you'll be exploiting the common resources of we all, like the public treasury needing the fake record to cover everything as a privilege and benefits of you and the criminal groups you represented. But this traced, since has you by specific hands, indeed has also the criminal bosses, internationally talk with the international police. The airplane can be used as a terror instrument and have a cataclysm as 2 twin towers falling down, but also as instrument any other thing, and so any system, like the Brazilian system and peers, use it for a purpose with variants that can be terror, crimes, illegal advantage, annihilation, a pandemic situation, and now covered by fake records. One more time, we're having the compilation of crimes against mankind. And then we have the bosses, because the damage or criminal event indeed happened and have results can be changed or recovered, except by fake records on current time, misguiding and misusing also the artificial intelligence that you consider that is having no cartoon or the image of things, and big data is Google and something like this, but that's okay. Except by fake records with current misusing of artificial intelligence to create circumstance and procrastination. Fake records, it's a fact PROBED, happen and go around. Research the ombudsman to support also the international police division on big events, because by the will contaminated the morality, since the source, which implies the vices you have, you can put down an entire stadium, an air flight or whatever, having yourself protected by fake record, yourselves. And the international police has a division about the big events, and also the FBI as mass destruction occurrences. Fake records covered all crimes and deny the right of integrity and data or information that belongs to we all. We are not equals. We are claiming the conviction after the dismiss, which implies, it doesn't matter if the decision will bring the conviction and the condemning. The action will be condemned. The dismiss and the prison with seizures and all consequences applied. Probably the death even of some variables will happen during the period of imprisonment. It's not a show business. It's not a big spectacularization of something. You kind of will have this and close the doors as I even discreet to, because indeed the criminal area, it's not far. The big bullshit as a spectacularization we have on present time, especially in Brazil. It's not a show business. They talk about the life of people, especially the victims, in this case me. We observe that you are trying always to modify the circumstances about the past by the fake records on present time you are doing. You have your communication, you have your instrument that can be inside this mobile as blue ball or a machine as red ball. A mobile as a ball or a machine as computer as a triangle. But since you observe that you can clone the communication architecture, you will have a projection as a parallel communication, and indeed the mobile as instrument has sometimes from inside elements that allow to clone, and so the computer. And this repetition indeed sets an entire field parallel architecture of communication based on cloned instruments as mobile or computers, generally by Bluetooth or the remote transference of signals, right? Indeed, it's invasive because if you made this disabled, probably will have a hidden directory in your machine or instrument with installation to continue this. In other words, the attempt to continue this kind of hoax by all costs, including the sovereignty, the property of others, and finally your own property as criminal offenders. And so the liberty of you all, or many of you, and even the life of some of you, it shows that indeed the strong commitment to keep and continue the systemic mobilization and criminal practice through corruption, integrated different system, indeed is an existence that can be denied, but it's unveiled. It's unveiled and noticed as threat by cognitive bias that indeed threats we all, and it's much more dangerous by fake records made, which is an aggression as itself took the integrity of the data and denied the guarantee and the right to the data with integrity. Take a look on Risk Report 2024, traceoctober.blogspot.com. We are working this since 2014 as self-defense. But the cognitive bias bring ourselves over them 10 years with aggression that almost has probably 30 years, and having clear that the G20 in Brazil bring the observation of the Brazilian guarantee about the data as a right of we all, modified by the Brazil as public record major aggressor, with specific hands as public elements on it, they must be treated different from the victims and convicted by all crimes and misconducts. Have a great night.